What is up, guys? We are back with another video, and this is actually going to be our last video of 2020. And what better way to, take a look back at the year is to go over some of our favorite products of this past year. Now, 2020, of course, has been a very interesting year for quite a lot of different reasons, but there was quite a lot of really good tech that came out this year. And we really want to kind of highlight some of our favorite products. So this list will be products that we've actually reviewed over the past year. It's not going to be something that we haven't actually, taken a look at and tested. We're also not going to list products if we reviewed like one thing in that category. That's not really that fair. So without further ado, here is our list of our favorite products of 2020. So we're going to start things off with CPUs, and the big CPU launch this year was, of course, AMD's Ryzen 5000 series. Now, the big thing with the 5000 series is that AMD really worked on single core and gaming performance. Previously, if you were doing a gaming build, 90% of your activity on your computer would be gaming. We'd always say go Intel because it had better gaming performance. Now with the Ryzen 5000 series, AMD has closed that gap, and honestly, it's basically depends on title, whether it's more optimized for AMD or Intel, but there's such a great performance increase even over the 3000 series when it comes to gaming in single core. So the 5000 series is definitely where it's at. And I could, put any of the 5000 series processors on this list, but my pick is the Ryzen 5 5600X. Now this is a 6-core, 12-thread part. It has a base clock of 3.7 gigahertz and it boosts up to 4.6 gigahertz. It is an excellent gaming processor with 6 cores and 12 threads. It should be able to handle pretty much any game out there, no problem. And in our test, it competed against both Intel and AMD's own processors and pretty much kicked ass. It's only $299, which makes it very affordable as well. So that is my pick for CPU this year. When it comes to graphics cards, there are so many good ones out there right now, except for they're incredibly hard to find. But if you can find one, pick up an RTX 3070. The reason I'm picking the RTX 3070 is that I feel it's the perfect 1440p card. I still don't think a lot of people are gaming in 4K. I don't even game in 4K, I actually game in 1440p. And I think the 3070 is perfect for that. In our testing, we were able to max out all of the settings in all of the games that we used to test, and it easily hit over 60 FPS with a lot of titles going into 80, 90, 100 FPS. So I think it's the perfect 1440p card. Now on top of that, it's very affordable. It's going to give you around the same amount of performance as a 2080 Ti. And if you can remember, the 2080 Ti was $1,200. The 3070 is $499, so you really can't complain about the price as well. And again, if you match that with that Ryzen 5 5600X, it's going to be a very affordable gaming PC. When it comes to motherboards, we're going to pick an Intel board as well as an AMD board. For the Intel board, we're going with the Asus Maximus 12 Hero. It's the Wi-Fi edition. And if you've ever had a Maximus board or ROG Maximus board from Asus, you know just how special these boards are. These boards are designed for overclockers and enthusiasts, and with this board, this is actually the lowest cost board out of all of the Maximus boards in their Z490 line, and it just has so many features. It has a lot of features that you just won't find on other motherboards. Maybe the flagship will have these type of features, but you won't find a lot of these features in other boards. This board has a 14+2 power phase design with 60 amp power stages, which is, it's gonna handle those super fast Intel processors. On top of that, you have actually 3 M.2 slots. Most boards, of course, have only 2. You have Wi-Fi 6, you have USB 3.2 support, then you have like really cool Asus features that you really don't find on other boards. You have like water flow indicators if you're doing a custom loop. You have their flex key, which I absolutely love. It's actually a button on the motherboard that allows you to program it to whatever you want, which is really cool as well. So there's so many features on this board. If you're a enthusiast or you're getting into overclocking, this is definitely a board that you want to check out. For our AMD board, you would expect me to kind of pick an X570 board, right? But no, I actually picked a B550 board and a mini ITX B550 board. It is the Gigabyte B550i Aorus Pro AX. That is a long name, but it is their mini ITX motherboard. It's B550, and B550 makes sense because you're not going to need all of those extra PCI-Express 4.0 slots because you only have one PCI-Express slot on this board. Now, this board features a 6+2 power phase design, but it has 90 amp power stages. Those are like some of the best power stages you can get in a motherboard, and they're on this little mini ITX board. So if you are gonna run, say, like a 16-core processor on this, you shouldn't have any problem whatsoever. This board also features, USB 3.2. It has Wi-Fi 6 on there. It actually has two M.2 slots. So typically on mini ITX, you see one M.2, but on this board, you actually have two. The main one is a Gen 4, so you can, get those super fast NVMe SSDs. And the second one is Gen 3, which is also pretty fast, but of course, not as fast as Gen 4. If you are doing an AMD mini ITX build, this is the board that I would recommend number one. For my case, I actually picked a mini ITX case, which of course would go really well with that Gigabyte motherboard that I just talked about. And this case is the NZXT H1. Super small mini ITX cases. They typically come in kits that you have to build, and you have to figure out, what CPU cooler can I get, what will fit, all that kind of stuff. With NZXT and their H1, they kind of made it their own kit with everything that you really need. So first off, this is a super small case. It actually might be the smallest case that we reviewed all year. It's only 13.6 liters, which means it's very small, and it's very elegant. We know NZXT for kind of like that boxy, elegant type of case, and this case definitely is it. It has tempered glass on two sides, which looks really awesome. But beyond that, like I said, it is a kit. So it comes with your power supplies. You don't have to figure out, what SFX power supply is going to fit in here. It comes with a power supply. It's a 650 watt, 80 plus gold power supply. And then it also comes with a AIO. So for your CPU cooler, it is a 120 millimeter AIO pre-installed. You don't have to mess around with it. You basically just kind of attach it to your motherboard. And it comes with a riser cable for your graphics card. So this actually fits full-size graphics cards up to 2.5 slots, and you're easily able to install everything. Now, with any small system, heat is an issue, and you're gonna kind of run into that with this case, but it does look awesome. It's gonna look awesome on your desk, and it is one of the smallest cases you can buy. And as I said, NZXT takes all of the thought out of everything. They have all the parts that you need. All you have to do is really install your motherboard and graphics card and some hard drives, and you're good to go. For storage, we actually didn't take a look at a lot of Gen 4 drives, so we're gonna go for Gen 3 for NVMe SSD. Now, the one that really stood out to me was the SK Hynix Gold P31. Now, SK Hynix actually just started making consumer products this year, and I'm actually really glad that they did, because this is, again, one of the best performing drives that I've seen. It performs right up to its specifications. It actually, you can write to it for a very long time without the performance going down. It is a really good drive. And what's really unique about it is that SK Hynix makes everything on the drive. They make the controller, they make the NAND, they make the cache chip, they make everything that is on this drive. They control the firmware, and that allows them to really maximize the performance. So the controller that's on this drive is actually a 4-channel controller, but it easily competes with other 8-channel controllers that are out there. So that is very impressive. This drive has gone on sale quite a lot, especially on Black Friday. It was like this insane price. So if you're looking to get a Gen 3 NVMe SSD, this one should definitely be at the top of your list. If you followed our reviews on the website this year, you know I'm a huge fan of super fast portable storage. We reviewed a ton of portable drives, and my favorite for the year is the SanDisk Extreme Pro portable SSD. This is their upgrade from last year's version. So last year's version was a USB 3.2 Gen 1 drive. This is a USB 3.2 Gen 2 drive, giving you speeds around 1050 megabytes a second, which is super fast. That's more than fast enough to, of course, transfer files. You can edit 4K video, no problem. You know, this makes a great game drive as well. The drive itself has a pretty cool design. It actually allows you to, you can actually put like a thing here and, hang it if you want. And they've actually reinforced this from last year. This is actually metal around here. The drive itself is IP55 dust and water resistant, although it's not fully waterproof, but it is like my travel drive when we were able to travel. It goes with me everywhere. It's always in my laptop bag. So if you're looking for a super fast portable storage, this is the drive that I would recommend.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Ryan, and this year I looked at a lot of all-in-one coolers. We had units in from Cooler Master, Silverstone, Corsair, NZXT, and more. One that really stood out to me though was the NZXT Kraken Z73. Now this one's pretty cool. It's a 360 millimeter all-in-one cooler. So obviously it has like a 360 millimeter radiator along with 3 of NZXT's 120 millimeter Air P fans. Those fans are really nice for pushing air through the radiator with a lot of static pressure. They can obviously push air through there and were designed to push air through a radiator for better cooling. But the really cool thing about the Kraken Z73 is the pump housing. Now, most people, we've seen RGB lighting and things like that, infinity mirrors, NZXT has infinity mirrors on some of their other coolers, but the Kraken Z73 comes with an LCD screen on the pump housing. Now that LCD screen really makes the NZXT Kraken Z73 stand out above the rest of the competition. We've seen, again, RGB lighting on coolers for many years now, and you can obviously customize that with the various software that comes with them, but the option of changing exactly what's on that LCD screen and making it exactly what you want is pretty awesome. Now we go into more detail obviously in our review, so go ahead and check that review out. It's on the site along with all of our other all-in-one cooler reviews, and have yourself a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
For keyboards, I'm actually gonna recommend 2 just because they both were that great and I was impressed by both that much, and one's big and one's small. So if you're looking for a big keyboard, you can pick that one. Of course, if you're looking for a small keyboard, you can pick that one. So for the big keyboard, I'm of course going with the iQnix F96. I made a full video on this keyboard because it is that good, and I'm actually using it. It's sitting right here. It is my daily driver. And what's unique about this keyboard is this is a 96% keyboard or a 100 key keyboard. And what they've done is basically fit everything into a form factor that's around the same size as 10 keyless. It is, I would say, slightly longer, but it's not one of those like massive big keyboards. It's the one thing I don't like about full-size keyboards is they like take up all of your desk. Here, it's more compact, which I really like. And the one thing that it does give you is that it does give you your arrow keys and it does give you a full-size number pad. When I'm making graphs for GPU and CPU reviews, I need that number pad. It just makes things go so much faster. So you have that there. But beyond that, this keyboard is extremely high quality. The entire chassis is made of aluminum. It's just awesome. You have Cherry MX mechanical key switches. You have PBD keycaps. And of course, you have the awesome color design. So there are quite a few. I actually have 2 of these keyboards because I like them so much. But the color designs are which really make this keyboard unique and cool. So for the full size, it is definitely the iQnix F96. For my smaller keyboard, it is going to be a keyboard that you technically cannot buy anymore. This is the HyperX Ducky 1.2 Mini. Now the good thing is that you can just buy the Ducky 1.2 Mini. Of course, we reviewed the HyperX version, which is their second collab with Ducky, giving this keyboard a really cool, just all black colorway. It looks really awesome. But the thing that really sets this keyboard apart from other ones is that it is extremely comfortable. It's one of the most comfortable keyboards that I've ever used. Now, this is a smaller keyboard. It is 60%. So you are gonna lose your arrow keys, you are gonna lose a number pad, and you are gonna lose your full function row. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, I actually switch between this and the iQnix, especially when I'm gaming because I don't need all these extra keys. This is super comfortable. And if I was just gaming and just say like typing without the number pad, I would definitely use this keyboard. It just feels so good. Now the HyperX version uses the HyperX red mechanical key switches, but if you just get the Ducky 1-2 Mini, it is going to come, I think you have the choice of Gateron or Cherry MX on it, so you can definitely pick which kind of key switch that you want, but it is super comfortable. You have PBD keycaps as well. Just an awesome little keyboard. Over the past year and a half, I would say I've fallen in love with lightweight gaming mice. I honestly thought they were stupid when they first came out. I was like, they're gonna be too light and they have these holes in them and they're not gonna be comfortable. And after using one, I fell in love with lightweight gaming mice. I made a whole video on lightweight gaming mice. I like them that much. But of course, this year, my favorite mouse is a lightweight gaming mouse. It is the Glorious Model D. Now, Glorious is of course known for their Model O, but the Model D is made mainly for right-hand use, whereas the Model O is more ambidextrous. And the Model D, of course, it's sitting right here because it is my daily driver. We reviewed the black version, but I got the white one because it just goes better with my setup. And it's super comfortable, it's super lightweight. It's not like a crazy mouse with a ton of buttons on the side. You have 2 buttons on the main side, 2 main buttons, and that is basically it. Of course, it is very lightweight. I believe it weighs 68 grams, so super light there as well. And the one thing that I have to say about all of the gaming or lightweight gaming mice is their USB cable. It is so light and just made out of this interesting fabric that you really don't notice it when you're gaming. That's the biggest thing. Like with other gaming mice that use either a braided cable or a rubber cable, the cable's heavy and it feels like it gets stuck, and it's just, I would never go back to a gaming mouse that has that type of cable. So definitely for 2020, check out the Model D from Glorious PC Gaming Race. Our last product on the list falls into, I would say, the accessories category. It is the Sabrent NVMe to PCI-Express adapter card. This is a super small and simple card that basically allows you to install an M.2 drive into any open PCI-Express 3.0 X4 slot, X4 electrical. And basically, it just gives you the ability to add another M.2 NVMe drive to your system. I really like this because on most motherboards, you only get 2 NVMe slots. And of course, you want to add more super fast storage. This is an easy way to do it. This is super simple device. It's basically like an M.2 slot on a PCI-Express card. It comes with a heatsink as well. So if you have a drive that overheats, this will obviously help that. And on top of that, this thing is under 20 bucks. So it's like a no-brainer if you want to add an extra M.2 drive to your system. That wraps up our favorite products of 2020. I will have links below where you can go ahead and pick these products up, as well as links to videos and reviews of each of these products. Now, again, as I said, this is our last video of 2020. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has, stopped by and checked out some of our videos. We definitely appreciate all of you. And we know this year has been a difficult one. So we want to say thank you for, just watching our videos and being part of our community. We are going to go strong into 2021 with much more videos and reviews and all of that fun stuff. But of course it is holiday season, so we want to wish everybody a happy holiday and good new year, and we will see you in 2021.